ladies and gentlemen, dear participants. It's an honor for me, on behalf of the Copenhagen Business Confucius Institute, to be asked to say a few words about Danish-Chinese or Chinese-European collaboration. What we do in the Confucius Institute is to try to build a bridge between Denmark and China. What you do as professionals is exactly the same. You build a bridge between China and the country in Europe that you work in. You are professionals. Many of you are engineers. I saw the list of participants. 90% is well-educated Chinese professionals working in very, very good companies here in Europe. You are the biculturals in Europe. You are the people that are going to create understanding synergy between China and your own country. Let's say Denmark here. Most of you are working in Denmark. And this is exactly the same as I do, both at home, as Heidi was kind enough to say, but also in the Confucius Institute. I have been working on creating and optimizing collaboration between China and Denmark since 1977. I moved to China in 1977, and basically I've been doing all this. What I want to say to you today is that you are engineers, but your core competence is that you are bicultural. Your core competence is that you have intercultural competence, that you have linguistic competence, which other engineers does not have. When you apply for a job, of course you apply as an engineer, if you are an engineer, but when you get the job, it's not because you're an engineer. When you get the job, it's because you have competences, bicultural competence. You know something about to create the bridge, as I call it, between your own country, China, and the company you're working in, for example, here in Denmark. So you build a bridge between Denmark and China. To do this is extremely important. This is what we need. We need many more professionals. Working in China, working in Denmark, working in Europe, everywhere. It doesn't matter. As long as we work together, as long as we, in a globalized world, try to increase our collaboration cross-culturally. And this is exactly what you are doing. And you do it very well. I know this. You know your competence. You know that you have more competence than other engineers. And this is exactly what we need to have. Personally, I think, I know it's not a very easy job actually. It sounds very easy. It sounds so easy to say, well, you are bicultures, you know everything about China, you know everything about Denmark. But we don't. Let us face it, we need also to learn a lot. If we don't learn a lot, we are not good as bicultural people. Let me quote a colleague, a Chinese colleague who once told me as this. As a Chinese, I'm afraid that I may misunderstand the Danes due to the language and cultural differences. Therefore, I could be very hard and rude on a Chinese, but seldom on a non-Chinese, simply because I don't know if I understand all working signals correctly, and I don't know how to make up if I say something or do something wrong. Unquote. I think you basically can recognize yourself. This is where we are. Despite that we might be more bicultural than many other people, we are still, to some extent, having insecurity. Are we doing the right thing? We deal with, and me as a Dane deal with Chinese, or you as Chinese deal with Europeans. We can do it, but there is always a little bit of insecurity. Do we do it right? And this is what we have to work on. We have to work on being better and better, and we can all be better. Despite the fact that we are good, we can still be better. And we should realize that there is a certain insecurity. When I deal with Chinese professionals, and I go very often to China, of course there's a certain insecurity. I think sometimes I might do wrong. Sometimes I'm too upfront, I'm too direct. People don't like it. So I need to adjust also, to some extent. Of course, when you get 50 plus, you adjust less, because you don't care. But you should care. You should care. You need to care, and you need to be very, very good as biculturalists. This is a lifetime job, but it's an extremely good opportunity. I wish you good luck with this conference, and thank you for the words. Thank you.
Thank you, my good friend Leonardo. The first time I saw him, I was actually in Shanghai in 1987. The next keynote speaker has been living in the Western world since 1988. First in the US and then Europe. So let's welcome a half European Professor Dr. Li Ping. And his topic is about, this is very, very difficult. I have to read it correctly. And I felt so intelligent when I can say this. Disruptive innovation from and for the bottom of the pyramid, the case of China. The floor is yours, Professor Li.
Disruptive innovation. I can simplify that at the bottom of the pyramid. You know, there's two literatures. One is disruptive innovation, another one is about the pyramid, which refer to the developing countries like China, India, Brazil. And so quickly, that such disruptive innovation is different from a radical innovation. It's not radical. It's actually simpler, cheaper way to compete. And so I skip that. You can see that. Okay, you can see that the second arrow there, basically disruptive innovation means you do everything simpler. Then just one example. Can you guess? I was really surprised. A couple days ago, I went to a conference in Copenhagen. They showed me, this is China's hired electric water heater in the bedroom, designed this way. That could only happen in China, probably. Because most of the water heaters will be in the garage. Okay, because I come from California. Okay, water heater is very big in the garage, but not in the bedroom, not done this way. Okay, it's not for decoration purpose, but this is something could be very disruptive because they could compete and from the bottom of the pyramid. So it's a new business model. It's for weaker latecomers. It's for low-end market entry. For inferior performance, which is good enough, suitable, then it's for much lower price. That's a very, very competitive weapon. And then that's best for latecomers, best for bottom pyramid developing countries, and best for imitation. So nothing wrong about imitation. I just want to share with you that all the countries in history, okay, since Germany, since the United States, they imitated when they were developing. Everybody imitated, okay? Then after that, by Japan, and after that by South Korea, and of course by China now. So imitation is absolutely necessary step to move up. Okay, nothing to be ashamed of. The best for low cost. Of course, low cost is something that we are very good, and the Chinese and the way to not only the access to low cheap labor, and also the way to reduce the cost, to get rid of the unnecessary features. Now this is part, the bottom of the pyramid, kind of a basic pyramid. Then you have the two top layers. Oh, okay, that's for the developed markets. Then you have the two bottom. Okay, basically ready for the income level. Okay, the level of disposable income. Then the middle part is really the middle, which is really real competition that probably take place between the developed and developing countries in the future. Right now, I think the developed countries are focusing on the top, and developing countries focusing on the bottom too. Okay, so that's what I say. Then look at the bottom of the line here. Bottom pyramid is more attractive than the top, simply because it's larger. And secondly, they are growing faster. Given those two features, larger market and growing faster markets, so the bottom of the pyramid actually is more attractive than the top of the market, which is saturated. That's very good growth. Okay, but all the multinationals, all the companies should realize. Then also another issue is the top of the market is overserved because it's profitable. Everybody wants to be there. So it's an over, service in that top of the pyramid. But then there were under-service at the bottom of the pyramid because multinationals do not know how to serve the customer at the bottom of the market because they can't afford to pay for those unnecessary features. Then they also require much higher value price ratio. You cannot just pay the price for $1 value for $1 price. They want it to be higher value over price ratio. Then the market trend, as I said earlier, okay, it's from low growth in the top of the pyramid to high growth at the bottom, from low value price ratio to high value price ratio. Although the bottom of the pyramid is important for both multinationals from developing countries and developed countries, but the most important one is really for the bottom of the pyramid, the entrepreneurs, the latecomers. Not only because they have underserved segments, I draw attention to the bottom line there. Actually, a lot of people now argue that the bottom pyramid could be the source of the future inspirations. Remember the photo about the water heater from higher. That's where you get all the inspirations. Okay, not the top, but the bottom. Because bottom of the market, so many challenges, so new. They don't know how to find the local solutions. What local solutions that require you to be very entrepreneur, okay, very adaptive, come up with lots of new ideas. Then the question here is for whom? Who would be better positioned to take advantage of the large and fast-growing bottom of the pyramid? I would argue the multinationals or local entrepreneurs at the bottom of the market would be better positioned to take advantage of the bottom pyramid. Okay, to go quickly. Technology speaking, the multinationals from the top of the pyramid have advantage. They can move down technologically. Market-wise, equal. Both sides are unfamiliar with the other markets. So there's a barrier for both. But this is the important thing. Look at the organizational barrier. Multinational incumbents, the well-established multinationals have a very hard time to compete at the bottom of the pyramid, not only because they are not familiar, but largely because they don't have that drive. They don't want to move down, less profitable, too cheap, too crowded. Okay? But the local latecomers can move up because they have a lower rigidity and high entrepreneurial drive. These are the things. They have an entrepreneurial ambition because they've never been there, never done that. So they have more motivation to catch up. As you are a latecomer, you always have a stronger drive, stronger desire. You are hungrier because you've never been there, you've never done that. Then you have entrepreneurial vision because you know your market very well and you understand their needs. Think about all the things. I think some of you are very familiar, if you are from China or visit China, the Sanzai phenomenon. Okay, all the copycats. Don't dismiss them. They are very important. They are the most important source of inspirations and innovation in the future. Then also best for disruptive innovation. New advantages, access to local market, access to low cost, and indigenous innovation, again, going to the picture of the water heater. Indigenous innovations, indigenous local